This morning, opening statements are set to begin in the trial over a deadly track meet stabbing.
It's a case we followed closely from the very beginning. Karmelo Anthony is accused of killing Austin Metcalf last spring during that high school track meet.
Our Janelle Fort live outside the Collin County Courthouse this morning, where the jury is now seated. But Janelle, there's still questions about how that jury was formed.
Yeah, Matt and Dia, we're still about 4 hours away from opening statements here, but this morning we know that 12 jurors and 6 alternates have been seated in this case, and they will decide whether Karmelo Anthony is guilty of murder. But the final stretch of jury selection came with an objection tied to race that is now drawing a lot of attention. Before the final panel was seated, the defense attorney objected to 3 people prosecutors removed from the jury and asked the judge to reinstate them. The defense said those 3 were the only people left in the pool of potential jurors who said they identified as African American. Now, prosecutors said they removed those jurors because all 3 are educators, and the judge allowed those removals. Our legal expert was inside the courtroom and explained what prosecutors had to show in that moment.
You have to give race-neutral reasons why certain jurors or a group of individuals were struck. And in this case, the state had a reason. They were educators.
Now, but that decision has raised concern from activists. The Next Generation Action Network said, quote, when qualified jurors are excluded in a manner that appears to be systematically eliminate representation from a community directly impacted by the outcome of a case, it creates legitimate concerns about whether justice can truly be administered fairly and impartially. There is also important context here that I want to add. Reporters and the public were not in the room when the jurors were selected and when they were questioned. That process was shown on a closed circuit feed in an overflow room, and that did not show the jurors. So right now we have not seen the final jury makeup and cannot say what racial, age, or gender makeup the jury is. We do, however, expect to see them here in court today. There are also no cameras. Live streams or audio recordings allowed inside the courtroom, and a gag order prevents attorneys, families, witnesses, and investigators from speaking publicly about this case. So from here, much of what we learn will come from our reporters and legal expert inside the courtroom. Again, proceedings are expected to start here 9 o'clock this morning. That is when jurors will hear each side begin to explain what they say happened at that Frisco ISD track meet where Austin Metcalf was killed.